So in this case, our business has got a loss because we incurred these expenses. These are expenses. These are expenses. Let's just print account and description there so that we actually see. So these are expenses with depreciation for this finance charge, which is more than the gross profit that we generated. If we had put budgets here, we're going to have a comparison of the actual versus the budget. Then we're going to have a variance in figures. We're also going to have a variance in percentage. So basically, that's it. So what I've shown you here is customer invoicing. I've shown you the customer journal, which I said in an environment, it means the organization or the business doesn't use evolution to manage stocks or to invoice customers. Then I showed you customer invoicing, which I said now we are managing stocks using evolution. You are also issuing invoices from evolution. So you are using what we term customer invoicing. 4 document types: quotation, sales order, invoice, credit note. So you're supposed to know how those things are processed. In a typical environment where probably you're an accountant, you may not necessarily do those things. Those documents may be done by the salespeople. You may not yourself do them, but you need to know the chain, because eventually the sales, the invoices which they do, they are the ones which originate the sales that you're going to work with. So you need to be able to trace and work with the process. Right? Okay, I'm done there. If there are questions, you ask me. Now, I want to go to suppliers. So the same with suppliers. I've got supplier journals. If you've got questions, you can ask. If there are none, still okay. Right. So under supplier journals, again, I want to explain so that you understand the scenario where supplier journals work. Supply journals work again in an environment where you are not. Now, supply journals, this is just an environment where you are not controlling stocks using evolution. Right? In such a scenario, you just use your supply journals to process supplier transactions. You are not controlling stocks using evolution. It means your supplier transactions, you process them using supply journals or supplier batches to just align with the language of Sage evolution. So you see, you just create a batch. I mean, this is now basic. I think this is now something that so you can either call it a supplier batch, supplier's batch, or you can call it a supplier journal, whatever name. You can leave all these they are right. If it is for foreign currency, you have to select and make, which means under operating circumstances, what I could expect is 2 batches, one for USD transactions and the other one, if you've got like in Zimbabwe for the ZWG, for ZWG transactions. You understand? So that is what you could actually do. Now, here again, you are simply picking up the date AP for accounts payables, then you are picking the supplier, then you are picking the transaction code. In this case, it may be an invoice. Then you are referencing, this will be the supplier invoice number. That's what you'll be putting there. Right. Paste. All right. If there were order numbers, automatically it will open this. And what you are simply inputting there is the figure, right? If you were charged the VAT, you put that. You are putting this if you were charging VAT, if you were charged the VAT and you want to claim that VAT. So you want the system to automatically come. So in other words, you are registered for VAT and you were charged the VAT. So you put in that. And if you want to put a project, you can put a project there, right? If you want to put settlement terms, you can put that. Then you are saying once you have done that, you can either validate or you can just post this. So it will say modified. Do you want to save changes? Yes. You want to save changes. So I'm just clicking on yes. All right. Then it will run the validation. And then I'm assuming bench. Okay. So what it did is it just ran the validation. And then it posted. Then I want to allocate, always allocate for an accurate age analysis, always allocate. I think we did a payment to this customer, to this supplier, I believe so. Yeah, we did a payment previously. I'm not sure of how much. So we just allocate that. Just allocate or we save, then we close. So basically, this is your supplier journals. I'm emphasizing this. You are using your supplier journals in an organization or environment where you are not using evolution to control stocks. This is the key. I'm not using evolution to control stocks. So all the supply transactions, I'll use supply journal or supply batch. So your supply batches, once you create, you can reuse this. You can reuse this. So at times you may just have one or two, I think two, one for your home currency, the other one for your foreign currency. If you've got more than one foreign currency, it means for each foreign currency, you just have a journal page. Now, for a situation whereby you are using evolution to control stocks, you are using evolution to control inventory. It means you would use what I term, this is my own term, what I term supplier invoicing. I call this supplier invoicing. So what that means is you can either just work here and come and do your purchase order, like suppliers, then you do your purchase order. Under inventory, I believe you also have got purchase order. Let me see, do you have it? You don't have that. So you have got under suppliers, you've got your purchase order. This is your starting document. Or you could just come here, order entry, and also do your purchase order. So you now need to understand the purchasing process. The purchasing process in an organization begins with a requisition. There is a requisition, be it trading stocks or be it other items. A requisition is put. We want these items. They've run out. Then that requisition is approved. Then a purchase order is raised. It's a communication document. It's a document which lists the items which have to be bought from a particular supplier. So how do you do that? Get here, then you pick the supplier, right? National Foods in this instance. And what item are we ordering? I'm just using boom paste, right? And these items for which warehouse, we pick the warehouse. Then how many are we ordering? We want to order about 1,000, right? Then this is just a purchase order. So under here, we are not confirming. We are not confirming anything. Then we just continue. Then we place order. This is what we do. Do you want to print the purchase order? We may say, yes, we want to print this. Then it will show us the purchase order. So this is our purchase order now. Either we're going to buy cash. So it means if we are buying cash, the transfer, the proof of payment that we did, plus this purchase order are taken to the supplier so that we pay. Or we can send these documents via email so that the supplier can deliver. If you are not paying cash, it means only the purchase order is sent to the supplier. Then when the supplier delivers the goods, we go to the next step. Now, let's say the goods have arrived. They've been delivered by the supplier. We then go back to transactions. Again, we say order entry. We say purchase order. Right. Then we open because we did a purchase order to this supplier. So we say open. Then you find by default suppliers are selected because we are processing suppliers. So on status, we can either say pending or we can just say, oh, doesn't matter. Then we say find. Right. Because we have got one, we just double click on this. Right. So once we double click on this, we have to receive stocks. Right. We don't have to process invoice, we receive stocks. So what is happening here? We ordered 1,000. Is it 1,000 which came through? If it is 1,000, then in this confirm column, we're just going to say 1,000. If it was 900, we're going to say 900. So once we have confirmed that quantity, we then receive stock, right? Then it will say Boom paste is a bill of material item. Do you want to break this up? We are saying no, which means boom paste, when we created it, we took it as a, I'm not sure, but okay, let's say it's a raw material or a finished product, doesn't matter. We are receiving an item from a supplier who is, in this case, National Foods. We did a purchase order first. These items have been delivered and we're now receiving them into our warehouse. We just say we don't want to break that up. Do you want to print the purchase order document? We are saying no. We previously printed a purchase order document for this, so we're not printing the same again. So we say no. But then it will ask, do you want to print the purchase order goods received voucher document? This one we're going to say yes. This is the document which confirms that these items were received from the supplier and captured into our system, which is Search Evolution. So we'll say yes, we want to print this document. Now, you've got this situation. For you to follow the audit, best practices of audit, it means you have to attach the requisition which was approved, the purchase order which was approved, the invoice from the supplier, and probably the delivery note, right? Plus this document, which is your GRV, your goods received voucher, which means for this purchase, you have got all the papers which shows that it was authorized, it was purchased, it was delivered, it was captured into the system. This is the best practices for managing stocks. So you could maintain a stock, a file for receiving stocks, which have got all these documents and which one can come and audit against your systems. Right? So once you've done that, you have received stocks, but the job is not yet done. The job is not yet done. We did a purchase order. We received the items and did a goods received voucher, but we didn't do a supplier invoice. It means if we were to check our balance sheet, all right, if we were to probably check our trial balance so that you actually see the implication of what we've done, right? So if we were to check our trial balance, let it print accounts as well and just preview, right? So if we were to check, you could find, okay, there are these accounts: cost of sales, other expenses, shareholder, trade receivables, inventory, cash and cash equivalent. Then you have got, so you have got this purchase accrual. This purchase accrual you'd find is other like current liabilities. This is a figure which is meant to be in our accounts payables. So it has to be part of these trade payables. This amount is supposed to be part of this. But because we haven't done a supply invoice, we only received stocks. So when we receive stocks, it will post to a purchases accrual account, this account. So you may wonder, now when you look at the trade payables, you may wonder, why are my trade payables lower? It means you have got this figure sitting here. So you have to complete the process by doing a supplier invoice. So you just go through again through the same transactions, order entry, purchase order, right? Then what do? You say open, because already we've done a goods received voucher. So here you can either leave it purchase order, or you can come and select POGRV. Then you just find. So when we do that, we've got one. So we're just going to double click on that. It will feed this, right? Then you could find we can now do our supply invoice, right? You would find our process is not activated, which means we picked the wrong document. So again, we have to open and come here and select. So what we have to select there is this one, right? Should be that one. Then we say, right, find. Okay, we pick that. Again, it's not activated, which means again we're picking the wrong document. So what actually we have to pick, what is happening here? Why is it? It goes back to right, POGRI. I'm selecting that. So why is it? All right, find. All right. So let me just see the actual document that was somehow is going back to. Let me try to pick this one. Let's say select that and find, double click. Right. So what we are supposed to pick, okay, what we are supposed to pick here for us to do the invoice is not this PO GRV. We are supposed to pick PO supplier invoice, PO supplier invoice. That's what we are supposed to pick. So once we say find, it will bring the same document, but for somehow it activates our process invoice. So once we are here, everything is confirmed because we received these items. We then process our invoice. Do you want to print the supplier document invoice? We say yes. We want to print this invoice, right? So this completes the process of buying and processing the customer, the supplier invoice. The payment for the supplier is always processed through the cash book. That has to be remembered. You don't process the payments here. They are processed using the cash book. So if we were to come back and probably view our, let's view our, is it the trial balance that we're viewing? I believe so. So let's view our trial balance. You are going to find out that the purchases accrual account is no longer there. You only have got trade payables increased by the amount that we did, right? So it's there somehow. It's there somehow. So which means we didn't process all the amounts. I believe so. But you can see our trade payables increased to 865. So here I believe we've got okay, okay, I have got this GRV. This is the first GRV which I did. If you remember, I did a GRV to receive those stocks when we were doing customer invoices. That's the one which has got that problem. But anyway, it's okay. So in essence, if I had probably done the first GRV, it means this purchase accrual is not supposed to be there. The figure should be in the payables control. Right. So basically, this is how you do your supplier transactions and your customer transactions on Sage Evolution. I want to end here today, then continue tomorrow. Are there any questions? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm still there.
Sorry?
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So I was saying, yes, for today, I've talked about customer transactions, supply transactions, and I'm ending here today, right? We continue tomorrow, right? But what I want you to do is master this.
Okay.
Yes, these are the things which are done on a day to day. I mean, people are actually going to work to do this. As
Yes.
whichever way, as a sales clerk, as a whatever, as a purchase clerk. So I want you to master it. Then tomorrow we are proceeding. So far, we have done the cash book, we have done the general journal, we have done customer
No,
transactions, we've done purchase transactions, supply transactions. So tomorrow we proceed
yes.
with the system.
Okay.
Yes.
Chanodzokora, I think network inenge iri kundiratidza kuti inoita zvakanaka ndiri kumba uko saka manheru. I will follow up these videos.
Excellent. I'm going to post them very soon. Jangoma editor because napenge nichitaura nevanhu. Then I'll post them.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just continue tomorrow. Then on your machine, we'll see. Because yeah, I think iruda network yako ine data rakawanda here kana kuti iri limited. Because I could
Iri limited.
yeah, saka rinokuwadza.
Yeah.
Right, so I will see what
Manchinoti tizodownloada
Windows. Ndada ndikupe file reWindows 11. Iyo ikoneti yako uri kubasa inoita handiti?
Yeah, but kakapera kabhandle kacho saka if possible munogona kuzongondiforwardira ka I will download ndakumba mhomzi wanaro riri unlimited saka pandinenge ndapo weekend bye bye maybe.
Alright, saka ndichakuforwardira.
Yes.
Yakuforwardira to
Munongo-
kuita kuti ti-upgrade to Windows 11, then we see from there.
yeah, munongondiforwardira here.
All right, sure. Let's meet tomorrow, same time.
Okay.
Same
Okay, thank you.
tomorrow it's 1. It's 1.
Okay. Okay.
Asi tangozononoka nenyaya yekuti ndanyimbotraya kutroubleshoota that problem.
Okay, sir.
All right, thanks.